Good morning, grade 10s. All right, just as we get started for the morning, ladies and gentlemen, can you give me those green check marks so that I know you're in the live classroom and in Blackboard, and we will get started this morning. So as you guys were doing math and yesterday, I was going through your guys' midterms, and surprisingly very well written, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy for the first time of you guys attempting to do this with, no background, really, a quick little introduction to 5-paragraph essays. You guys did an amazing job. So I'm expecting it to even grow as the time keeps going here, all right? Shayna, just do the best you can, all right? Yeah, Devin, I got yours, and I'm hoping that you actually still have a copy as well, because we're going to work with them today, all right? So let's get started. So what I'd like to do, you guys, is just to put you back into the main frame of what we did last day with your midterms and all of that, okay? I just want to do a quick little intro to get us started, and then we'll get right back into delving into our midterms and doing a self-assessment around our writing, okay? So I talked to a few of you guys at the midterm, and I was like, oh, you guys, like, how did you feel compared to math versus the English? And I think a lot of you were much more calmer, right? Because you've been in that scenario before and so forth. So just to get our mind back into looking at the midterm and how we kind of felt that day. Yeah. I just want you guys to type in what into the room. I'm moving the wrong way. I feel like Miss Wood. Into the chat about how you felt either before or during the midterm. Okay. Think about back when you walked back into the gym, whether it was actually around the midterm. Were you anxious around the actual content, or was it around how you felt? Did you feel more prepared? That sort of thing. Just type into the chat, you guys, one word, how you felt about the midterm. And I'll just bring up. Good. And that's how it came off for me, you guys, as well. I was hoping that the content would be a little less scary because it is English, and you really can't study per se for English, right? It's coming all off the top of your head, okay? So I was kind of hoping that those were the words I was going to see: calm, fine, normal, okay? So that's really good. And I'm hoping actually that even some of the coping strategies that we've been talking about, that Ms. Wood has been introducing to you as well, kind of played into that, okay? So I'm glad that you guys had that mentality, because I think it actually showed in the product that you produced for me for the actual midterm, okay? If you're calm and relaxed and have that confidence, you're going to produce a better product. All right. So I think you guys did really well on that. So super excited. Now, that's amazing. So I have emailed your midterms home yesterday to you guys. Everybody should now have a copy of their midterm with them. So in Blackboard, you guys, can you just give me that green check mark that you've got yours? And you have it in front of you, whether it's on the computer. Preferably, I would like it in front of you. So if you can print it off, that's going to be the easiest way to do it. All right. And so, Taylor, you should already have yours. Devin, you should already have yours, right? Yeah. And that's totally fine, Taylor, because I am going to see it once you submit it to me. Okay. So Alex, you don't have yours. Okay. So I'm going to have to send you, after we get going here, Alex, you guys make sure you've checked your email, right? Not your Moodle messaging. Make sure you check your email. Okay, I sent it to your emails. But if you don't, please let me know, and maybe I'll get Miss Wood to quickly send those to you guys ASAP so we don't have to waste too much time. All right, so far, Alex and Jade, okay, need theirs. Okay, I'm gonna just make a little note to myself, and hopefully I can get Miss Wood done for that. All right. So that's the big thing. Make sure you have a copy in front of you. So here's what we're actually going to do, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Here's what the process is going to look like. In groups, I am going to put you into breakout rooms. Okay. You are going to dissect. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Alex. You are going to dissect some student papers, some student samples. They are not from this class. Okay. I want to make that really, really clear to you guys. They are not from this class. These are not papers that, have come from the midterm that we just wrote. Okay. These are provincial samples. So they're not yours. Okay. So I'm going to give you, I believe there's 6 samples, and as groups, you guys are going to rank them. Okay. On a scale according to the rubric that we took a look at the midterm. Okay. Now, what I've done is I've actually made you know how it was on the provincial, you guys, it's a scale and it's that linear form. I put it into a chart format to really break it down for you guys. Okay. Now, the other thing that you will notice is that I didn't include a 0 or a 1. Okay. That was very purposeful to me because when I read through your guys' midterms and quickly made some notes and jotted down what I thought, nobody was below a 2. Okay. I want to make that very, very clear. So I kind of left that off. So everybody should be in that 2 to 6 range. Okay. And exactly the same at the samples that we're going to be looking at. They are all from a 2 to 6 range as well. Okay. So I have changed the rubric a little bit to make it look like a more user-friendly rubric for you guys. I've also put the rubric into the assignment. You'll see it in the unit that we're doing right now. You'll see the assignment. It's called midterm. Okay. So I have broken the rubric down, you guys, into 4 main categories: ideas, structure, voice, and grammar. Okay. Those are the main 4 ones. I have used the exact same language that rubric did that we looked at. Okay. But I've just now broken it up and what the difference between a 4 and a 6 would look like. All right. So you guys need to use this rubric. Again, it's in the assignment as you look at the student samples. Okay. And you guys as a group are going to break those student samples down and decide which ones are a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So this is where we're going to stop, and I'm going to actually get you guys into your breakout rooms. So this is what you need to be looking at. The rubric, okay, which is in the assignment. The 6 papers, okay, the 6 papers that I've given you guys are in the assignment as well as downloads, okay? And then as a group, I want you guys to come up with that, and then we're going to come back as a class and discuss where those papers are at. All right? So let's take a few seconds here and get you guys into your breakout rooms. All right. And then I believe I've given you whiteboard privilege as well as chat, obviously. And so as a group, you guys can, if you want to use the whiteboard for any discussion, feel free, or you can just use the chat, whatever's easiest for you guys. Okay. So just give me a few minutes, you guys, so that I can send you to your rooms. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are now in your breakout rooms. All right, so go through each of the 6 papers, use the rubric to dissect those papers, and let's start looking at where those papers are. Are they a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? And maybe on your whiteboards, you guys, could you maybe put like sample 1, and then the mark, what you guys think the mark is, sample 2, so on and so forth, so that we can get a visual of where you guys think those papers are. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a big chunk of time to do this. All right, so let's take about 20 minutes and go through those, and we'll reconvene in about 20 minutes and we'll go over those papers. Okay, so go ahead and get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we still need a few minutes from what I'm seeing from some of the rooms. So I'm actually going to let you guys go for another 5 minutes, okay? Try to finish up the samples and try to get a mark as a consensus for each sample. And then we're going to come back as a group and decide which ones were which. All right. Taylor, I see you just got booted out and you're back in. Could you let me know what room you were in, please? I don't think I remember. All right. And then I'll get you back in. So go ahead, you guys, get started, and I'll give you guys 5 more minutes to finish that off. All right. Go ahead. All right. I loved watching the conversations in each of the rooms, you guys. Just finish up, and as you are finishing up, can at least one member from each group just jot down what each sample you guys gave a mark out of? Okay, so for example, in the example that I've got up behind me, right? Maybe if Jade or Ava, one of you guys, just jot down sample number 1 was a 5, sample number 2 was a 6, so on and so forth. Just because I want to send everyone back to the main room, and then we can discuss each of the samples. All right, and I want input from each of the groups. All right, so just take 1 minute, quickly jot those down. At least if one person from each group has that, then they can share it into the main room. All right. And we don't have to constantly be going back to the breakout rooms to check what our marks were. And if you haven't finished off the papers, that's all right. Do the best you can. Okay. And I'm going to bring everyone back to the main room here in about 30 seconds. And then what we're going to do is discuss each of the samples really quickly. Okay. And then I'll tell you what your homework is for the rest of, over the holidays. All right. So I'm going to get everyone back into the main room. There we go. So everyone should be back in the main room now. And I am going to bring up really quickly back to my PowerPoint, because I think I'd like to have the rubric in the background here, just so we can reference it when we start chatting. All right. So let's talk about, let's just start with, actually, we're going to go backwards, because I think a few of you guys figured it out. We're going to start with sample 6. Now, what I need from you guys, though, is sample 6, when you guys opened that up, what training paper number was it? Do you guys know at the top there was it'll say training paper number. Could someone just remind me what the training paper number is? All right. I guess I'll go check, since no one seems to be answering me. All right. Or maybe you guys are, and I'm just not listening to you. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I'm assuming, okay, is that the mark that you guys have given it? Or is that the actual training papers? Training paper number 3? Okay, perfect. That's what I'm assuming. It's number 3. Okay, awesome. Now, as a group, you guys, let me put my rubric back up. What was the mark? What did you guys come up with for a mark? Okay, so it was number 3. What was the mark? Good. Okay, so good. Now, why did you give it a 2? And I'm glad you guys were giving out half marks. I love seeing that, because as an English teacher, I like to give out half marks too. But, and I know in the chat where I was looking in the back of my screen, you guys, some of you guys said, oh yeah, they'll give out half marks for sure. They don't. On the provincial exam, you are either a 2 or you are a 3. There's no in between. Okay. Good. You guys are coming up with it, right? Okay, Alex, you can't just say because it was bad. You have to explain yourself in relation to the criteria. Good. So the errors were very, very noticeable. They impeded the meaning, right? You couldn't really understand them. Yeah, exactly. Errors were distracting. Thank you, Anna. You guys are correct. Training paper number 3 was a 2. Okay. And here's why. This is the reasons why the markers gave it a 2. Broad generalizations. They made these sweeping statements, right? They didn't use specific examples. weak sentence structure. You guys talked about that. Frequent errors and elevated thought, but student lacked the language skills to be understood. So that's, I think Devin said, or Devin was saying the meaning was there, right? The ideas were there, but you just couldn't get through the errors to really pull out the meaning. Okay. So you guys were right on that one. It was a 2. So let's go to the next one. Sample number 5. Sample number 5. What would you guys would have given it? And tell me again what the training paper was. Okay. You guys are all saying sample 5 is a 2.5. Training paper 4. Thanks, Anna. And you guys are... Okay, good. So you guys were all giving it... I'm going to scroll back up. You guys, I'm going to... Let's put the chat back up here so you guys can see. So you guys were saying it's all 2.5, 2.5, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so good. So there is some disagreement then between that 2, 2.5 up and 2.5. So if it's training paper number 4, you guys, which I'm assuming it is because that's what you guys told me. Okay, it's actually a 3. All right, it was given a 3, and here's why. Here's the reasoning why. Little support and uneven development of ideas. It does have a sense of purpose, okay? Basic vocab and sentence variety, and the errors do distract, but not fully. Not like the 2 paper that we looked at. Yeah, but you can't give a half mark. So I'm sure really if we looked at it and we really looked at the criteria, we probably would give it more of a 2.5. But because you can't give it a 2.5, you either got to go 2 or 3, you guys. And the markers actually gave that paper a 3. Okay, so just be aware of that. And this is what I'm finding. Yeah, Devin, I'm with you on that. Okay. And you're going to see, but we have to remember that English is very subjective as well. Something might appeal to others while something else doesn't. Okay. So we've got to remember that in the back of our brains as well. Let's go to the next sample. I do want to finish this, you guys, before I give you your homework for the Christmas holidays. So let's talk quickly about sample number 4. Okay. In the course, what was the training paper for sample number 4? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Devin. So it's training paper 6. What did you guys give it a mark out of? Okay. Yeah, so Alex, all of these are written by students. Yeah, all of them. But it's around the province, right? So I don't know where the student is from either. So we've got a 3, a 4, a 4. Okay. 3, 3.5. So you guys are pretty close to each other at least. We're not like 2 grades apart. Okay. So the training paper number 6, you guys, sample number 4, was a 4. All right. That was a mark 4. This is what I'm finding on the rubric. There's a big jump between 3 and 4. That's what I'm finding. And then there's quite a big jump between a 4 and a 5. So that's where I like giving half marks, but unfortunately you can't. So in paper number 6, you guys, the sample that you guys would give a mark to this is a 4. The ideas are straightforward and clear and do have a sense of purpose. Basic vocab and sentence structure. It's also very formulaic, okay? So what that means is, which is not a bad thing, as to where you're starting. I want to make that very clear that it'll state in your thesis, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. And then the first paragraph says firstly, second paragraph says secondly. That's very formulaic, but that's fine. Okay. I don't mind that. We want to advance your writing. Okay. Yes, Taylor, great question. And I actually already have. I've already marked your essays, but you guys are going to mark your own essays now. You're going to do your own self-assessment. But let's quickly look at the last three, you guys. So let's look at sample 3. I think I know it was training paper number 8. So sample number 3. What did you guys give your mark there? What can I just clarify then? Was it training paper number 8? Okay, thank you, Devin. Yes. Okay, so it looks like you guys are in that 4.5, 5 range, right? And that's where you should be. It's a 5. So paper or sample number 3 was a 5. Okay, ideas were well developed and supported. It had clear purpose. There was sentence variety. The tone was generally engaging. Lacks engagement for a 6 though. It doesn't give that wow factor. And appropriate, but it lacks originality. That's what differs it from a 6. Okay, so then I'll tell you right now, actually, the last 2 samples, what did you guys give them? Because the last 2 are exactly the same. So samples 1 and 2 got the same mark. As a group, what did you guys come up with? And Abby, did you give both papers a 6? Yeah. Good. Good. See, you guys are bang on. Good. Yeah, both papers were given a 6, you guys. Okay? So those were the top end samples. So fantastic, you guys. You guys were pretty bang on. There was no real discrepancy. Okay. But again, Abby, right? If you can't give that half mark, right? Yes. So that was Taylor. That was sample 1 and 2 were both 6s. But if you can't give that half mark, do you drop it down to a 5 or do you bring it up to a 6? Right? You got to take a look at that criteria and really look at it holistically. Now, here's where we are going next. All right? So using that, we have already done this. Now, using your own sample, your midterm that you wrote for me, where would you place your own midterm? This is what I want, though, to show you guys. I want to see your thinking behind this. Using the rubric that's in the assignment that we just used, I want you to highlight specific examples from each section, okay? So talking about ideas, structure, voice, and grammar, you need to give me specific, okay? You need to try to use 4 separate colors to highlight your examples. So for example, use yellow for tone or use yellow for voice, use red for grammar, whatever it is, okay? And then what final grade would you give yourself out of 6, okay? So in the midterm assignment, that's what I want submitted. You need to upload your highlighted midterm with your own self-assessment into that assignment, okay? That's the midterm. Now, yeah, I would, Abby. I would like to see it. Yeah, so if you can actually scan it back to me, that would be great. Okay? Now, if you don't have the capability to do that, ladies and gentlemen, you can easily just grab a quote from your midterm and specifically state, okay? So you need to either print it out, Jade. That's what I would like to have that. And I think Miss Wood has sent you your midterm. Okay, she should have sent it to you by now. Now, that's for today. Over Christmas break, now that you have written a multi-paragraph essay, you guys, you need to go back to your rough drafts of your Boy in the Striped Pajamas 5-paragraph essay. And I want a good copy done. All right. Using that same rubric. We're going to use the provincial rubric to get you guys going on that writing. But I also do want to do a peer review. So really quickly, we're going to partner up, and that's who you need to peer review over the holidays. Okay. So, and just like we've done in the past for the peer review. Okay. So, yeah, so Abby, that would be great. If you could highlight for the striped pajamas for your partner, that would be awesome as well. Those are great ways to give feedback to your partner. All right. So really quickly, I'm going to partner you guys up. All right. So let's go Abby and Taylor. Okay. And we're going to go, I need to quickly note this as well. And then let's go Alex and Taylor. Let's go Anna and Sophia. Let's go Ava and Shayna. Let's go Belle and Savannah. Let's go Bria and Jade. And Haley and Jack. Perfect. Now, I also know you guys that Avery's watching. I do know this. She just couldn't get into Blackboard today, you guys. So if there's somebody who isn't else in class, I'll have to look at attendance. And Avery, for you, I will email you a partner. And if not, then I might just make you guys a group of 3 to do some peer review. All right? Or I'll double up with somebody. Yeah, and just Taylor, through, I set up a discussion forum in the class, just like in the past, where you upload your Word document, right? Your essay. They download it, read it, give you some feedback, and then you do the same for your partner, right? So yeah, you do need to be into the course over the break, you guys. Okay. And then also by the end of Christmas break, you guys, I want the good copy as well. Okay. So yes, you need to upload your rough draft to the rough draft so that I can see it and give you feedback. You need to upload it to the peer review. Okay. So that your peers can give you some assessment. And then you need to upload your good copy. Okay. Just like we've done for the paragraph writings as well. That is your homework. After Christmas, we are starting something completely new. Yay! All right. So good luck, you guys. If you've got questions, just message me in Moodle. All right. I will be into the course and stuff over the break as well. So don't feel like I'm going to leave you hanging. I'll be checking probably on a daily basis. All right. So have a great break, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to see you tomorrow at the movie. I don't know if I can get away. But we'll see what can happen. Okay. No, Belle, the partner is the Boy in the Striped Pajamas one. Okay. You need to self-assess your own midterm, but then peer assess your Boy in the Striped Pajamas essay. All right. Make that very, very clear. So have a great break, you guys. If you have final questions, just message them to me. Have a good one. Bye, guys.